Meet your speakers. Dade Oluwamu Adeniyi, a young creative teen, a dancer and art lover, a music maker with an eager heart to learn, a fun lover and a people inspirer. Kamsi Chima, a Dakopsa public speaking ambassador, an entrepreneur and owner of KC Foods and Beverages, a public speaker with Microsoft and video editing skills, a YouTuber and a computer tech. Chidubem Nora Arinze, a year 7 student with a passion for the round leather game, an international and local striker. She competed at the Cobbies competition Bangkok. She is a swimmer, a bronze medal holder in shot put, a silver medal striker, and the highest goal scorer at a tournament. Okay, a digital marketing consultant and trainer, a certified digital advertiser and marketer, a personal development champion, digital skills, modern computing and data expert, a thought leader and speaker. Uke is also a panelist. And your host, Marybeth Chima, an educator, an author, the founder of the PTM Academy, convener of the Baby Steps to Purpose Conference 2021.
All right, good evening once again. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this session. Thank you for joining me. If you are here, please let me know where you're watching me from, where you're joining me from. My name is Marybeth Chima. I am the convener of the Parenting Through Mentorship Academy, and I am the host of this conference, the PTM Annual Conference. This year our theme is Baby Steps to Purpose. All right, so this year we decided that we've been talking a lot about parents, looking at things from the parents' angle, what we can do as parents, what we can do as parents, right? That's what we did last year. We're talking about how we can support our children. So this year, mainly we're focused on the parents. So this year we want to focus on how we can support our children, right, to take baby steps towards their purpose. So we want to talk about how we can support our children to take baby steps towards their purpose, because being able to find your purpose is a very important thing. So we've had a couple of children, young people today, right? We had Uki. We started with Uki Jr. He was here, and we had a conversation, a very powerful conversation with him. This at 2:00 today, and after that we had a conversation with Kamsi Chima. We had a conversation with Kamsi Chima, and after that we had Dade Posh. That was the last conversation we had. Now we've been talking with these children at different level, and they've talked to us about how they've been, the things that they love to do, and how they've made steps towards achieving those things. So this evening we're talking to another young person. Okay, we're talking to another young person, and this one is very, it's different, right? This one is different because this one is about, she's different. That's the word. She's different because she's daring to do the thing. Some of the things that we don't hear. We don't hear children of a particular gender do. Okay, she's daring to do something that usually people don't get interested in until they're like at the end of their teenage, or during their teenage, at the end of their teenage, or something like that. So when you see a young girl who already is set on what she loves doing, even though it's different from the regular, or it's different from what the regular child her age loves to do. So without talking too much, I'm going to invite to the screen Chudubem Arinze. All right. Hello, Chidubem. How are you? Good evening.
Fine, thank you. Good evening.
All right. How are you today?
I'm fine,
Oh, where's
thank
that
you.
noise coming from? Is the TV on somewhere?
No,
Yeah, there's a noise that is coming from somewhere in the background. What's up, Abby? Oh, really? All right. Good evening, Chidubem. Good to have you. I know you've been really busy. There's a noise in the background.
there's nothing that's on. Maybe it's the mic. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I hope it goes away. All right. So I'm sorry. We know that you're really very busy. Where's it coming from? It sounds like someone's phone or something. It's me echoing. All right, children, just give me a minute. Let me see. It's me actually echoing. Right? You know something? I'm just going to go. You know what we'll do? I'll just start and I'll log back in because I don't know where this is coming from. Okay? All right, so I'll just log back and log back in again. All right? So just a second there. 1 second, please. And what's this? Sorry, just a second. All right, so children, I'm sorry about that. I had to go back out. I had to go out and come back in to see if the noise would disappear. It seems like it has. All right, so good evening. So good evening again. Welcome. Thank you. All right. I don't know. Wait, let me see. I'm going to stop this. It's still on. I've never had this. I wonder where it's coming from. All right, so good evening. Okay,
Good evening.
All right. It's still there. Okay, so we will just have to live with it because I can't even place my finger on what it can be. All right, so good evening, everyone who has joined us. We have Chudubem with us. Chudubem, thank you for doing this. I know you've been busy the whole day, but you still managed to find time for this. So thank you and welcome to this session. So today we're going to be talking about daring to be different and daring to pursue your dream. Okay, daring to pursue your dream, daring to be different. So let me ask you, so at what point did you realize, or first of all, maybe you should share with us what is this dream we're talking about, or what is this thing that you're very passionate about, that is the reason why you are here today. So what do you do?
Football and sports generally.
All right, so you are a footballer, you love to play football, and then you didn't even leave it at just football. You have other sports that you are into too.
Yes.
That's really disturbing. All right, so well done, well done. It's not very easy. So, I wish I understood what is going on here. I wish I understood what was going on here. All right, so could you share with us? Children, just a second. Let me see if I can close any tabs. What's going on here? All right, let's shoot. So just share with us, how you discovered or how you started loving football and sports generally. Is it something that your parents introduced to you? Is it something that they had you do in school? Just share with us how you started loving the game. Can you hear me, Chudibem? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, I think it's looking as if I have lost Shudibem. I don't know why that is, whether it's my end or whether it's her end. Please, if you're watching, if you're with us, please say something in the comments. Let's know that we've got company. Allow StreamYard access to tell us who is commenting when you make a comment, okay? And if you can hear me loud and clear, please type in the comments that you can hear me. Okay, so I think it's Chudibem. She just got thrown out. So I want to believe it's her. Okay, I want to believe it's from her end, even the noise is also from her end because I can hear myself right now and it doesn't have that sound. So let's just give it a few minutes. She's going to come back on, I think. All right, so beautiful. So basically, this young woman, she's only 12 years old, and she is a sports person. She plays football, she swims, I think she does shot put, and okay, she does shot puts and all of that. Okay, the mom, okay, they have a bit of a challenge. She's going to come back online. Okay, so let's just hang in there. All right, so she does all these sports, and it's something that she's done for a number of years. For her to be okay, so for her to have at 12, for her to have started going for both local and okay, I think I've got her back. All right, welcome back to the band. We lost you there for a minute. Sorry. It's okay. All right, so for her to have, and the noise is better actually. So for her to have come first far, that at 12 she's already attending local and international competition. It means that it's something that she's been on for some time. So we're going to go back and she's going to talk to us about what she's been up to and how long or when she discovered that she had a thing for sports. All right, over to you, Chudibem. You want to share with us when you came to the realization that you love football, that you love the game, that you love sports, and all of that. Can you share with us when you realized that this is it for you? All right.
Okay, so football came to me naturally. I was fascinated by the idea of just having a ball, something that rolled to play with. When I saw
Wow.
people playing, playing football, I will imagine myself being in that position, because it looked really interesting, and I thought that if I was practicing and able to do it, I would be successful.
So basically, you just saw the football, And at what age? And about what age were you at this time?
3.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. They're not they're kids that at 3, especially because you're a girl. We're very used to boys wanting to run after the football and play the football. I mean, we're very used to boys being the ones fascinated by football. So is it like you had like a brother, you had like cousins, uncles, or people around you who played football a lot? Because sometimes it's the people around us that influence us. So is there someone like that around you that influenced you, that you say, oh, it's because my brother and his friends liked football because of that? So what was it for you? Was there any of this someone?
No, actually, I just watched it. So it then from there inspired me to just get into the sport.
So randomly, just watching football, say on TV, or people playing outside or in school, that's it for you. You just picked it like that.
Yes.
Wow, 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 wow. So let me ask you, so when you play football, right, how does it make you feel? How does it make you feel when you're playing football? I'll come back to another question that will add to that one. But when you play football, how does it make you feel?
Like brings a rush of excitement, just knowing that I'm doing what I love. At the
Wow.
same time, it could be nerve-wracking because you can't determine how the game is going to go.
Are you serious? This is this is huge, oh. As in, so you're playing football and you're just in your happy place. You're in your happy place, you are enjoying it. You can actually go on and on for hours. As if for a long time, you're just fine. That's what it does to you.
Yes.
Wow, wow, wow. So at the point where you started, when you started with all that football at 3 and all of that, were your parents like, what's that? You are not supposed to play football. You're a girl. Did you have comments like that? And when you were playing, who were you playing with even at that age? Were you playing with other girls or who were you playing with? Or where were you also playing this football?
So at first, I could just if I got a ball, I'd be inside the house and I'll just be kicking it around. There wasn't actually anyone to play with at the time. But
Uh,
when I actually wanted to play football, this was at about 5. I told my parents. My mom was in full support as of time. She
uh,
bought me my first kit. I remember clearly that it was red, and my football boots was green and black Adidas
at
X.
5.
Yes, and
Wow. Oh, this
at
network
first,
might
initially,
be
my
so
dad
good.
wasn't in support
Your dad.
because he thought it's
Network, please. Wow. Okay, you're back. Can you hear me? Can you hear me,
pardon.
children? Okay, I
Yes.
lost you for a minute. Okay, so you are saying that
Oh,
your mom bought you your first kit. She didn't have a problem with it. But we didn't hear the
yeah.
part about your dad.
My dad wasn't in support at first because he thought of it as a distraction to my academics because I
Wow.
wasn't able to balance it. I wasn't able to balance it at first. Well, when
Oh,
I had yeah, then eventually I was able to balance it and have the time for sports and for my academics, and he's okay with it now.
wow, 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 wow. So you're in year 7 now. You're in year 7 right now, right?
Yes,
So year 7 is like a JSS 1 class, right?
yes,
All right, so can you share with us because right here we might have a girl just like you who is interested in football, and just like you, one of the parents is probably saying, "Oh, it's not so bad," and another parent is probably saying, "Not for girls," or "You can't balance it," and all of that. So, can you share with us a bit of what you did to balance? What did you have to do to create that balance?
so basically there's a time for everything, a time to play and a time to study. So just have to create a particular time, maybe for 2 hours you're studying, and then the next 2 hours again you can play. Then you bring it back and forth, so you alternate it.
So basically, you had to prove yourself to your dad, or you had to give your dad a reason to understand that the football is not going to be in the way. And from what you're saying, I can hear that you had to make deliberate effort, isn't it? You had to make deliberate effort because you loved this thing and you didn't want it to be taken away. You didn't want daddy to say you can't have it because you're not doing well in school. So you had to make an effort so that you are doing well in school. And that way, doing well in school you were like, what other reason do you have? More like it, right? Are you with me? Okay, the network is just not being so nice. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me, Chudibem? Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I was asking a question. I was like, so it
Yes.
was more like you had to like make an effort. You had to prove yourself to your dad, right? So that he sees that, okay, if it's academics, okay, I'm going to work on it. Now I am doing well in school. What other excuse do you have for me not to play football, isn't it? Yeah? Are you with me? The network is not being very friendly. Are you with me, Chudibem?
Yes.
Okay. So going from
Yes.
that period, okay, so going from the time that eventually daddy came around and understood, that you can do this both things without, one affecting the other, because it's very important. It's really very important that the interest that we have does not cancel, other things in our lives that are important, because school is important. There's a skill there that we need to learn, the cognitive skills and all other skills that come, reading, speaking, and all other skills that come, with what we do academically, right? So we can't take it away. There's a need to balance that and then balance the interest that we have. So very, very important. So we understand where your dad is coming from. Now, going from the point where your dad eventually said, it's fine, Chibibem, I support you. You can go on with your sports and all of that. Now, what steps can you share with us? What steps your parents took to support you? Because what you do is not what comes from playing football in the compound. Do you understand? There's I love to play football, so you come out every evening and you play football in the compound with the neighbors and all of that. What you're doing right now, or the feats, or the success you have made so far, is not what comes from just playing football in the compound. So can you share with us,
Yes.
after daddy agreed that you can play football, what special, what things they did to support you? Okay. Can you hear me? Are you there?
Football teams, academies, and obviously it had a price. So yes, so it had a still they signed me up for them. And apart from financial support, they also took their time out to take me to my trainings. And despite the fact that they had other things to do, they sacrificed their time to take me out for training.
You're breaking up, so we're not hearing you very clearly. So, but let me repeat what what I heard, even though it's breaking. So you said after when your dad eventually came around and, accepted that you love football and it's their responsibility they had a responsibility to support what it is that you loved. So what they did next immediately was to enroll you in an academy. Is that what you're saying? Are you there? Are you there? The network isn't nice at all.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, I can hear you now. So you're saying what they
Okay.
did next was to enroll you in an academy?
Yes.
Okay. So this academy, because we know there's some parents here that their children probably have the same interests, right? And their ability or knowing what to do with the children from here could be, dependent on what you're saying today. You may be the inspiration for them to want to support their children more. Okay, so okay, I've lost my track of my thoughts. Okay, so you might be the reason why they want to support their children more. So let's talk a bit about your academy, okay, in detail, so that parents can know, that there are things like this or there are places like this. So this academy, is it when you got to the academy? Is it in your school? Is it at the stadium? What kind of academy? Where do you find places like that? You are in Lagos. So where do you find places like that in Lagos? In case we have parents here who are in Lagos and they're thinking of what to do or where to support their children. So is it in school? Is it in church? Is it at the stadium? Where is it and how did you find it?
So there's one at the church that I go to. It's called City Sports School.
Okay.
They are part of the City of David Church, which takes place at VI. There is also a branch for like the older ones at Methodist Boys College.
Okay. Okay, so basically you just go to the academy, you pay, and then you become a part of the academy. So when you got to the academy, who were you playing with? Were you playing with the boys or you were playing with the girls? Like, were they people like were they young girls like you who were into sports too or into football too? Or you had to play with the boys? How was it?
So at first we played with the boys, then later on some girls joined. So now, so we do mixed trainings and separate trainings as well.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I guess, I mean, at the point you got there to the academy and you didn't see any other girl, you didn't see girls to play with, it didn't matter to you. It didn't matter to you. The fact that you had to play with the boys didn't matter to you. You were just fine with that.
Yes.
Wow. Well done. Okay, so let me ask you a tricky question and all of that, we've heard that when you do sports, right? When you do sports, there are other skills or there are other areas of your lives that things like sports will end up helping you, right? Doing sports will end up helping you in other areas because you do sports. You probably will become more responsible. You probably will become, it's like music. When you do music, you learn how to calm down and reflect and all of that. So for you, what other things or what skills, right? Or what other things has, indirectly, right? What other things has playing football or doing sports, what other things have you learned or have you gained, or do you know how to do better now? What other skills have you gotten just because you decided to be a sports person or a sports woman?
So
what has it taught you? Yes.
Teamwork, most especially to work with other people that you are not familiar with.
Wow. Any other one? Is there any other thing apart from teamwork? Because teamwork is really huge. It's big. It's big. Teamwork is
discipline. Yeah, discipline.
Exactly.
Discipline.
Yeah. Amazing. So, you want to say something more? Were you saying something else?
Yeah, I said discipline. It helps you.
Yeah. Beautiful. I mean, it's even I can relate to that because, of course, you need to be at the what do you call it, the stadium or wherever it is that you practice. You need to be there at a particular time for you to be at the game. For you to join the game. If you're not there at a particular time, then you get into trouble, isn't it? Or you don't get to play the match. And because it's a passion for you and it's something that you love, it simply means you don't need money to wake you. You don't need anybody to hound you. You don't need anybody to push you. You get up and you go. So is that a way that what you've learned in in sports? Is there a way that it has helped you in other areas of your life?
Yes, it helps in school as well. Like as of being punctual in your arrival. Like you have to be early so that you don't miss any parts of the activity.
Yeah. And then team spirit in school, right? Even in school, sometimes you have to work in groups, isn't it? You have to work in groups. You have a project, a group project
Yes.
that you have to do, just simply because you have learned to work as a team. Because I mean, it's really huge. We just take it for granted, but it's really huge having to to achieve success not by yourself, not alone, but with not just 2, 4, 5, but with 11 people or 11 people on the pitch. I think that's huge. That's huge there, and I can relate. I can relate to this completely. Okay, all right. So tell us about just try to tell us about some of the sacrifices, right? If you were to say this, and that are the sacrifices that my parents have made for me, what are some of those sacrifices? Because there are parents here that are listening to you and they probably have children like this, so that they know the kind of sacrifices that they need to make, and they know also the sacrifices that other people are making for their children. Maybe that would be a reason why they tell themselves, okay, I can do it too. So if you were to name the sacrifice, 1, 2, 3 of them, what would the sacrifices that your parents, what would they be?
Um, so there is the financial sacrifice,
Oh,
which is to pay for a child's trainings, yeah, and time. If let's say you're busy on one day and your child has a training that they're supposed to go to, you
yeah, you
sacrifice
have to leave everything.
to take them to where they're supposed to be.
Wow.
What's up?
Wow, wow, wow. And it's really, truth is, it's really huge, and it's even it's even more. It's huge that parents make these sacrifices. But it's heartwarming when you as a child recognize this sacrifice that they make. So it's important that we're able to name them, isn't it? It's important that you're able to name them and you're able to see them as sacrifices that you're making. So, parents, what Shudibem is trying to say to you is she did it. I mean, she had the love for the game. She loves the game. She has a passion for the game. But it didn't end at her just having passion for this game. She needed people to support that passion, isn't it? She needed people to support that passion. And she's come thus far only because she has people who are ready to go this route or this path with her, making the sacrifices. And we all know that talent is not cheap, isn't it? Skills, skills, paying for skill is not cheap at all. It's one of the most expensive things. Right, Trudibem? I'm sure you know how much, you have an idea how much your parents, spend in all of this, isn't it? Isn't it? Are you there with
Yes.
me? Yeah. So if we're to support these children, then we need to make up our mind to, to make some sacrifices, to give certain things, off for a bit, so that we can empower them and we can give them access. Okay, so earlier on, children, we had someone come in here. We had a young man. His name was Uki, and he was the guest at 2 o'clock. And then he said something that was very profound during that session. He said that parents need to give their children access. They need to give their children access. When children have access simply means that you're giving them expression. You're allowing them do something about what they love. You're allowing them try something that they love. And Uki also said something that it's very important that we allow them try as many other things as possible. It doesn't have to be just one thing. So let me ask you, are there other things, right? Are there other things that you do, apart from football or schoolwork? Are there other things that you've tried to dabble in, computer, whatever else? Are there other things that you've tried to try? Have you tried any other thing? Or for you was a case of I woke up at 3, I knew it was football and nothing else, nothing else to contest with it. So what is it for you?
Um, I have an interest in instruments. I just want to learn. I'm more determined to learn how to play different instruments, and I like singing.
Are you kidding me? You sing also? You also sing?
Yes.
Wow, wow, wow. Okay. So that's really beautiful because I mean in this generation with these children, there was someone that was here day before yesterday, the head of the school. Okay, no, there are a lot of people that came day before yesterday. Most of them were educators, and they kept on saying the same thing. They kept on saying the same thing. Allow children try many things. Why they try many things, they will discover the ones that are the ones that are most interested in. And apart from that, who says talent has to be just one? One person can actually have two, three talents and all of that. What it does to you is that it gives you choices. And it's a generation, your generation is a generation of choices. So you don't want to be stuck on one thing. You want to have choices and be able to do as many things as possible. And from what I am seeing, you're not just doing football, you also swim. Meaning for you to go for competition means that you swim pretty well. You swim pretty well. And then in your bio, we read that you went for what that game. And then in the game, you actually at the game you actually did swimming, football, and even did the shot puts. Was it shot puts?
Yes.
All right. As in, so that's like a lot. So let's ask you, right? Because you're a person of many talents. How do you balance this many talents? How do you do it? Is it like you make time, to practice each of them? Do you practice each of them? Do you have practice time for each of them? Does it become too much for you sometimes, or is it just easy for you to swim from one to the other like that?
It's not always easy. Like success doesn't come easy. It's
Oh,
through hard work and practice.
exactly.
So I have a time for each of them. Yeah, I have a time for each of them. Like in school, when we were doing trainings for games, we usually divide the practices. So you can have people, the runners at one side and the throwers at one side. So when I'm doing shot put or javelin, they have me at they have a measuring tape, so they can measure my distance when I throw. So they have techniques and ways that the objects are held, and they run you through everything. So then they might have different days for the different trainings. So maybe on Monday you have swimming, Tuesday running, then Wednesday for football.
Wow. And this is a school in Nigeria because from what you're saying, it seems like it's not just home. The school is also supporting you. So there's a relationship, right? There's a relationship with your parents, and your school. That's what I'm hearing from what you're saying. It's a relationship. Your parents do their part. The school is also doing its part, and you are doing your part. Is that what's happening, Chudibe?
Yeah.
Wow, this is really very interesting. It's really very interesting because what we hear most of the times is When people go to school, it's all about academics. When they go to school, it's all about academics, academics, academics. So when you now come and hear that a school allows you to swim and to play, and then you do the javelin and then play football at the same time, you do all these three things in school. You do all these three things in school. Are you with me?
Yes.
Wow, it's a lot. I mean,
Yes.
it's huge. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. So well done. Well done. Let me see. What other questions do I have? Okay. So let's say a boy or a girl there who wants to be like you. Okay. So let's say there's a boy or a girl right now here who wants to be like you, right? Who wants to be like you, a girl that say 8 or 10 and all of that. What would you say to her? I mean, what process would you tell her she needs to go through? What does she have to do first? What comes later? What should she pass through? How, I mean, what just advise that kind of young girl or boy right now. So what advice
Okay.
would you give them?
So
Okay.
if you have a dream, go for it.
Go for it.
If you have a dream, go for it, and don't let anyone discourage you, especially if it's something that you have a passion for.
Exactly. So you have a dream, you have a passion, hold on to it. Don't let anyone discourage you from it. Don't let anyone stop you. So are you going to say to them they should start playing football inside the house too, like you did? I hope you didn't spoil any TV or anything like that. You didn't, right?
It was when I was younger, so I'm not sure.
All right. So basically, should you mind me saying to you, if you have a passion for games or whatever, technology, game, whatever it is that you have a passion for, entrepreneurship, whatever it is that you have a passion for, do not let anyone discourage you. Okay, if you're a child and you're listening to this with your mom or dad, do not allow anybody discourage you. Your dream is valid. Your dream is yours. Your dream is important. It is part of who you are, and it's to a huge extent going to be tied to what purpose you will find or what purpose it is that God created you for. So just keep at it all the way. Did I just speak your mind, Chidibem? Or I mean, I just took your words as a matter of fact.
Yes.
Yeah, great. So let's advise the parents too. We've just advised the children keep that dream coming. Don't let it go. Don't let anyone bully you out of it. Even if you have to go to an academy and they're all boys at the academy, go right there and face your lane and play your game. So let's advise the parents also, going by how you have been supported and going by what sacrifices you've seen your parents make. What advice would you have for the parents of the child who is interested in football, swimming, or what other sports there is?
It's very important for a parent to support their child's dream because it will make the child feel encouraged to go for what their dream is and their passion, and it makes them determined to achieve what it is that they want to do.
Hmm. Beautiful. So you're saying, I mean, you're saying straight up that, I mean, if your child has the support of the parents, if the parents are supporting the child, it means that the child will be motivated and the child will do more, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, the child will do more. And I agree. I totally agree with you. Because there's something about, having a dream and having to struggle to live that dream on your own and by yourself. Then there's also the part of doing it alongside people that you love and respect. Your parents being your cheerleaders and cheering you on. It just makes you want to hang in there. And like, I mean, children always want to do the things that their parents will be proud of them for, right? So it makes you stay there and continue to do it. And really, you only get better when you practice, isn't it?
Yes.
right? Right. So can you give us an idea? Give us a small idea into how much practice you put into this. Is it a 1 day thing? Is it once in a week? Just give us an idea into what's your routine when it comes to yours to sports. What your routine is like. Just give us an idea so that people who are interested understand the amount of work they need to put in.
Okay, so I have training like 4 times a week.
Four
Sundays, Wednesdays, Fridays,
Sunday.
and Saturdays. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's for football alone. Or is it for everything?
Yes.
Is it for everything?
Yeah. No, football, that's football.
Just football 4 times a
That's,
week. And your parents
yes.
take you for those 4 times.
Yes.
Wow, where's your mom? I want to hug her. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Wow. How about swimming? How about swimming? How often do you practice? Are you there?
Pardon?
I said, how about swimming? How often do you practice? How often do you practice swimming?
Mm, right now, do no, Mondays, sorry. Mondays in school.
Wow, wow, wow. That's a lot of work. That is a lot of work, young lady. And we take these things for granted, and you see how easily you can put in this work simply because you love it. Please, parents, if you're listening to me right now, you see how difficult it is for you sometimes to get a child to read even for 30 minutes. Difficult it is to get them to read for 30 minutes. And sometimes the reason that they don't come around to doing this, or they don't like to do it, is because it's not something that they found. It's not something they've learned to love. So when a child or when anybody loves a thing, it just comes easily and you don't have to stress. And the good part about it is whether this thing is football or any other skills, while the child is at it, the child will develop other residual skills that the child can use to apply in other areas that you think are important. Wow. Children, I understand and I see the work that you put in, and we just want to appreciate and keep encouraging you because just as you said, when you have a dream you pursue it, right? When you have a dream you keep at it. So we have learned a lot from you today. We have learned a lot about supporting a child like you, and we want to say to you thank you so much for making time from your side schedule, because from what I hear, you are almost as busy as an average adult. You're almost as busy as an average adult. And let me ask you one last question. Do you think that the fact that you do all of this keeps you, does it keep you focused on what is important? Right? Do you think it contributes in making you stay focused? Do you go on the internet a lot? Are you always on YouTube? Are you always on Twitter? Are you always on okay, you're 12. I don't even know whether you have access to phone, yes, and all that. Are there things that are distracting you? Do you have all that thing? Are you always having trouble with your mom or your parents, complaining about you doing a particular thing that is not, productive a lot? Or do you think because of all this, you are focused? You there?
At times I don't sit up as well as I should. Yes, I'm here. I don't sit up as well as I should. So the probably in school that sometimes I get distracted easily. So that affects my academics as well. Then when I do that and when it affects my academics, I get like a scolding that I need to sit up in order to achieve my football as well. Because if you are looking for scholarships, especially to football academies, it's your academics that helps you to get into
Wow.
that as well, because they ask for your academics. Yeah, because it shows them that you're balanced.
Balance. That's the word. That's the word, Chidibem. So basically, what you're trying to say is talent, academics, social life. Let's even ask that question: the social life. Do you still have friends? Do you have people you play with? Do you play? Do you still do the things that normal 12-year-olds do? How do you balance that? You go for parties with your classmates and all of that. Do you do all of that?
Yes.
You still get to do all of that. Did I lose? Are you there? Are you there, Chidibem? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right then. So you still get to do all of these things. You still get to enjoy time with your friends, listen to music, watch TV, and all of that.
Yeah.
All right, balance. This is amazing. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to them. People are in the comments. They're saying great, amazing stuff. Wow, age 3 and all that. Welcome to them and all of that and all of that. So let me scroll and see if anyone has asked any question so that we can answer this question. And if there are no questions, we will allow you to go and rest, because anybody who works as hard as you work should rest as hard. I mean, they should rest, and rest for good, amounts of time. All right. So I'm scrolling down, and it doesn't seem like there's any question. If you have any question for Trudy Ben, please bring it on. Let the young woman answer. Bring it on. I mean, if you have any questions, but if you don't have any questions, then we will go. All right. So thank you so much, Shudibem. We've learned a lot from you today. Especially, we've learned that if you have a dream, then go for it. Do not allow anybody discourage you. We've also learned from you that at some point, when you want something, not everybody might agree with you or support, agree with it at first. It is your responsibility to prove yourself. Just as you did, you had to prove yourself for your father to agree that you know something, it's okay. And then you have also taught us that support or parental support is very important. And you acknowledge the fact that you have come thus far simply because your parents have made sacrifices and your parents have gone out of their way to support you. And at the end, you have told us that in everything, balance is very important. And for people who are looking for opportunities, for scholarship, for fellowship, for opportunities in and out of the shore of this country, football or game sports is a way that you can also, try to harness, okay, or a thing that you can try to get into as a way to get this scholarship. So it's not just academics, okay? You can get, the points from everywhere. Thank you so much, Shudiben. You see, I have learned so much from you, and I'm sure the parents who joined us have learned a lot too. So thank you for being here. Thank you for honoring our invitation, and good luck with everything that you do. I see greatness. I see you reaching out above the stars. So congratulations and thank you very, very much. All right, Chidibem. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. So we'll just let you go.
Thank you for having me.
I didn't hear that. The network has been shabby. All right, so Chidibem, thank you very much for being
Okay.
here. Thank you. Bye. If you can see me. All right, bye. All right, parents. So that is it. I'm sure you can hear the same thing that we've been hearing over and over again. Parenting is not a small feat. Parenting is not a walk in the park. Parenting is not what is done shabbily. If you are going to nurture children that will stand out, if you're going to give children access, if you're going to cheer your children on, if you're going to set your children apart, then you are going to be ready to put in the work. It's not going to happen automatically. And I dare say there is nothing like luck when it comes to parenting. Sometimes you have conversations with friends and family members, and they say to you, it's because you're lucky. Your children are smart. Your children are this. Your children are that. It is not true. It is because you are calm enough. It is because you are conscious and intentional enough to pay attention to the things that your children love, the things that your children are interested in, the gifts that your children have, the talents that your children embody, and you are willing to help them hone those skills. You're willing to give them access. You're willing to build their potential. You're willing to build habits that will last, that will help foster those gifts and those talents that they have. Because if they do not have the habits, they do not have the right nurturing, they don't have the right attitude, they're going to lose these things. Imagine that your child plays football and the child, you are not disciplined, loves football. You're not disciplined enough, right, to you're not disciplined enough to get the child, to get the child ready. You're not disciplined enough to take the child and arrive at those sessions early. Okay, you will sell it to the child. The child will not get the skill that comes with doing this sport. You heard her. She has learned to be she has learned to responsible. She has to be responsible when you do this. She's also learned to work in a team. These are some of the skills that are rare in this generation, that are rare today. But hey, see how you can teach those skills through giving your children access. And that's the thing. When you allow your children get access and you begin to hone the skill, it makes your work easier, because you find people who will be co-teaching your children without having to talk. Sometimes this talk doesn't nail it all. When we preach, we talk. It doesn't nail it as much as doing. So when the child is pursuing a skill, and in that skill, the child learns by extension, the child learns discipline, learns empathy, learns assertiveness, learns public speaking, learns all of these and more, learns teamwork, right? Learns being what's that word now when you know how to hang in there? Okay, the child learns to be tolerant. All of these things, nobody is writing it on a board. Nobody is writing notes. Nobody's going to mark a note because you know the definition of tolerance, you know the definition of teamwork and all of that. No, it's going to be lived out. That's what Akugo said in her session yesterday. Her mother lived out this attribute, lived out this skill. So it was easy for them to pick it without anybody having to give them a lecture on hard work and all of that. She's learning a lot of hard work too. So these are skills that will come in handy no matter what it is that the child finds himself doing in the future. Whether they turn out to be entrepreneurs, whether they turn out to be people of leadership, okay, leadership positions, entrepreneurs, I mean, that's a leadership position anyway, whether they end up being, people who govern, the rest of us, whatever it is that they end up doing, whether it's just being employees in a place, these attributes will go with them, and it will be the reason why they succeed in whatever endeavor they find themselves. All right, parents. So thank you very much for all those who joined us today. Thank you. For those who will be catching the replay, I hope you get value from this. I was hoping that we'll have a lot of people come in here today because we're having children and we're going to hear the children's perspective. Very important. So if you have anyone that needs to see this video, please send the link to the YouTube channel to them so that they can watch it and follow and see and then put all of these into practice. Very important. So this is it for today. I am signing out. We'll be back here tomorrow at 1 p.m. when we will be talking to experts. We'll be talking to people who have discovered their skills, who have discovered their skills, have walked the journey of purpose, the journey towards purpose, have discovered their purpose and are living their purpose in some cases. People who work with children, okay? If your child has a skill, right? We have some people that will be teaching you how to help your child on that skill in case you're still a bit confused as for what I need to do. And then we will have someone that will be talking to us about financial awareness and the currency for the next generation. If you are still there doing with your children, your 6, your 7, your 10, your 12-year-old, if you are still there and the only awareness that your children have about money is that uncle gave me, that one they gave me during Christmas, the one they gave me during my birthday, you have my money, put it in the bank. The bank does not teach your child any financial sense. I'm not saying don't put your money in the bank, but the bank does not teach financial sense. So when you ask a child and he's like, yes, I have money, it's in the bank, my mommy puts it in the bank, there's no financial lesson happening there. Okay, none at all. When all your child thinks of when he thinks about money is which uncle is coming and which uncle he can ask for money or which uncle is dashing. When that's all, then they don't have financial sense. So tomorrow we'll be talking about these and more. We'll be talking also about why your child, your teenager, could be rebellious and the part that you play it is. And all of these, we're not talking theories. We're talking about people who have been there and done that. Thank you very much, everyone. My name is Maribeth Chima. I am your host and I'm the convener of the Parenting Through Mentorship Academy. Thank you for being here today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a lovely, lovely evening and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye. Bye-bye.
Meet your speakers. Dade Oluwamu Adeniyi, a young creative teen, a dancer and art lover, a music maker with an eager heart to learn, a fun lover and a people inspirer. Kamsi Chima, a Dakopsa public speaking ambassador, an entrepreneur and owner of KC Foods and Beverages, a public speaker with Microsoft and video editing skills, a YouTuber and a computer tech. Chidubem Nora Arinze, a year 7 student with a passion for the round leather game, an international and local striker. She competed at the Cobbies competition Bangkok. She is a swimmer, a bronze medal holder in shot put, a silver medal striker, and the highest goal scorer at a tournament. Okay, a digital marketing consultant and trainer, a certified digital advertiser and marketer, a personal development champion, digital skills, modern computing and data expert, a thought leader and speaker. Uke is also a panelist. and your host, Marybeth Chima, an educator, an author, the founder of the PTM Academy, convener of the Baby Steps to Purpose Conference 2021.
All right.